With severe weather pounding the triad and weather about to drop tonight, you just heard Tim talk about that. Your heat, your comfort is no doubt on your mind. So today we have Baraco President Will Berry and Baraco VP of HVAC Services Brandon Fisher with us. They're here to answer questions ranging from heating efficiency to donations for those in need of heating maintenance. All right, so what we want you to do is we want you to get your questions to these experts. All you have to do is text in your question, 336-379-5775. Your question is anonymous and you get the chance to have an expert answer them right here on the spot. All right, guys, so first and foremost, let's talk about this because everybody wants to make sure that their heat continues on tonight. And then it continues on for the winter. What is the best way to keep our heat going and making sure that our heating system is good?
Maintaining it. You know, we get caught up in, the analogy in our end is talking about cars because people can typically relate to cars. And how do you keep your car running efficiently? You change the oil, you check the brakes, you check the air pressure. Same thing with your air conditioning. You want to change your filter on a regular basis. You want to make sure that the system is running efficiently. The airflow is not, blocked by furniture. They're open in every room. The thermostat is set to a temperature that is at a good set point that's recommended from P&G, which they typically recommend 68 in the wintertime. And Duke Power recommends, 72. So it really depends on, what you're looking for. But maintaining it for me is the biggest thing.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those things where a lot of times we're like, oh, we'll just put that off. We don't need that, spring service tune-up. We don't need that fall tune-up, but that really does help it. And also, you said not shutting any of the vents in any of the rooms. Now, that is like a common thing that people will shut off a vent in a room. So tell me why that's not good.
Well, ultimately, the system is designed to move a certain amount of airflow. And if we start shutting vents off in each room, thinking that we're not using this particular room, so we're just going to start shutting these vents off. But what homeowners don't understand is that we're actually doing damage to the system because it's designed to move a certain amount of air. And if we're cutting that airflow down and not able to get it actually through the system, then the system is going to work harder. It's going to work less efficient, and overall the performance is just going to be not what it should be.
Okay. All right, let's talk about some of the items maybe that we can buy, or some of us that we've been buying, and we were hoping that they were going to save us money when it comes to our heating bills. So, Will, are there a few things that we actually should spend our money on?
Absolutely. One thing we recommend is a programmable thermostat. So you can set your schedules for when you're home or not home. And some are advanced to where they learn your habits. And that can save you because you're not going to run your system when you don't need it. Other things is, having your ductwork cleaned or at least inspected. Air cleaning devices, with a lot of sickness going around, COVID continuing, it's important to make sure your home's allergies are clean, the dust and contaminants are reduced. And then the other thing that we have started recommending as we see problems in the industry is when we have rolling blackouts from, say, power companies, we're encouraging surge protection on HVAC equipment. So we all put surge protectors on our TVs and things like that, but our home's most expensive appliance doesn't have a surge protector. So when we have rolling blackouts, we see an influx of issues that are a result of that blackout when it comes back on. So we also make some other recommendations during blackouts is to flip your breaker off until power is restored. So if you don't have a surge protection device. And then also in extremely cold weather, don't overwork your home by running the dishwasher or doing, washing, washer and dryer. Wait until that cold weather comes back up to normal temperatures.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, there's a lot of folks who, are trying to time their bills to make sure that it's good and that they can afford certain things and whatever. So there's one camp who's like, I'm just going to autofill my stuff every single time for fuel or propane, or the other people who are like, nope, I'm just going to get it whenever I run low. Is there pros and cons to both of those?
Absolutely. So we are always a big advocate of the Autofill program because we also back it up with an easy pay program. So in other words, we can split your bills up over an 11-month period and have a 1-month reconciliation period versus when you order fuel or propane, having that bill that's due at that delivery or due within 30 days of that delivery. Furthermore, there's a significant amount of discounts that we offer our customers by being on Autofill. So we try to get rid of that misconception that it's more expensive to be on Autofill. It's absolutely not. Our customers save probably an average of about $150 a year by being on our Autofill and Easy Pay program.
Okay. Hey, Brandon, there's a question that someone says, we have a unit upstairs and a unit downstairs. Do we have to keep them both temperature the same?
I would recommend the opposite depending on the season. So if you had like for now, typically in the wintertime, your heat's going to rise and your downstairs system is going to run more frequently than your upstairs unit. So normally we would want you to run the system on the downstairs probably a little bit more than your upstairs, because that heat is going to be able to come upstairs anyways. But ultimately it's whatever's comfortable. If you like 68 downstairs and you like 68 upstairs, then great. But normally what we've seen is that if the system downstairs is on 68, typically the upstairs unit can probably run 1 or 2 degrees cooler and still be comfortable.
And you might as well get the heat for free, right? Because it's going to rise for you anyway.
Right.
Okay.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right, we're taking more of your questions and we're talking about the gift of warmth when we come back after this break.